and welcome all to Winfield Recommends Episode 2. If you haven't watched the first episode, I'd recommend doing that if you want more bands to listen to, but if you don't, well, what the hell? Nah, I'm just kidding. What this video is I give you 5 bands, regardless if their styles match, give you a brief overview of who they are, and a starting point. So, without further ado, let's rock on into the first band. When it came to the first episode of this show, Sweden dominated it, and for good reason. Their music scene, shit's catchiness. But now we traverse back to the land of IKEA and Sabaton to talk about another amazing band. Amaranthe are an interesting one though. With the inclusion of 3 vocalists, a growler, a male singer, and a female singer I would let give me AIDS, Elise Reed. Yeah, I know, I'm the pinnacle of attractiveness with pajama pants, greasy hair, and conducting this review on a rocking horse. But regardless, the inclusion of these 3 vocalists is what sets this band apart and adds layers to the listening experience.
For the future going under, I see everything pushing down. One step on the edge.
Each singer gets their moment to shine on each of the songs, even though they have lost vocalists in the past because they thought they didn't. But that's just the vocals. The music is just as killer. Thudding rhythms and soaring synths combine into this anthemic atmosphere that I would sell a kidney to replicate. They've been doing this stuff since 2011, so you got a limited amount of material, but it all kills. I'd recommend starting off with either the Nexus or Maximalism, but there really is no bad jumping off point with the awesome Amaranthe.
We can make it hard, hard, bring it on the rocks. Round, round, down, right until you wanna drop. Acting like a hot.
Geez, finally a female-fronted metal band that doesn't suck. But how about a whole lineup?
Nothing is wrong to the truth. Nothing is wrong. I should have stood up to you. Nothing is right to me.
The 1980s was no stranger to awesome metal. From the underground thrash scene to the stadium-packing glam, the decade was metal's heyday, and we all know that. Just as much as we know it was a total sausage fest. I mean, sure, you had acts like Leah Ford, Warlock, and for all you Canadians out there, the metal queen herself, Lee Aaron. But for a lineup consisting entirely of women, look no further than Vixen. Oh sure, their hit songs may have been written by dudes, but I can't think of any dude that could sell these awesome anthems.
Tell me how much love is it gonna take to prove I'm not another heartache? Do you begin to let your heart?
Management mishandling and drama may have broken up this band, but through that bifurcation we got 2 Vixens. One creating a really decent late 90s grunge album, nice try L7, and the other creating a more rock-oriented album for all you less obnoxious people. But by God, nothing beats those first 2 Vixen albums, especially 1990's ripping Rev It Up. With more input from the girls on the songwriting, it's just a speed metal salvo that you owe a goddamn listen.
On the streets in paradise, it's hot as hell, cold as ice.
Vixen are a bunch of badass babes that sear off any thoughts you might have had that women can't rock. Rest in peace, Jen. I look forward to what you're doing in the future, Sharon Roxy. Vixen, guys, listen to them. Sticking with hair metal a little longer, at least a little longer than these guys did, Skid Row may be known by the masses as that band that, wrote that 18 in Life song and had Sebastian Bach as their singer.
Frontman Sebastian Bach became rock's latest embarrassment this week when a picture of him wearing a t-shirt with the declaration "AIDS kills fags dead" appeared in Metal Edge magazine.
Well, this says AIDS kills fags dead. And I said, what's wrong with killing little bundles of wood? No, anyway,
Makes me happy I share a homeland with him. But seriously, if you dig into this band's discography a little deeper, you'll unearth a killer hair metal album and some early 90s metal that doesn't suck shit through a garden hose. Even when the band jumped off the SS hair metal, they actually managed to bring catchiness along with them. And I'm sorry, Pantera, I love you, but even you couldn't do that. Albums like Slave to the Grind and Subhuman Race hit like Tiger Woods' Escalade hits a fire hydrant. But for me, nothing beats that debut album. Sure, people only stick with the hits, but if they do that, it makes me want to hit them because they're depriving themselves of an awesome listening experience.
Can't stand the heartache, so bleeds the red, red rose. Time heals a broken heart, but that's just the...
Skid Row are a badass band that don't get the credit they deserve. Well, consider this recommendation a step towards remedying that.
Listen up man, I'll tell you who I am. Just another stupid American. You don't wanna listen, you don't wanna understand. So finish up your drink and go home. I come from...
If you liked my Bad Religion retrospective and wondered if after all that punk bashing in the opening monologue I actually liked any other bands, well, I did name drop these guys in said monologue. The Descendants are one of my all-time favorite bands in the punk category. They may not be as melody-driven as Bad Religion, but they do possess a sense of songwriting and a sense of humor. No other band can open an album with about 2 minutes of farting and still have it be one of my favorite albums by them. But favorite albums? I could say that about any one. I Don't Want to Grow Up, All, No, All, and the immortal Milo Goes to College. Hell, these guys are still making kick-ass music to this day. Their last album kicked ass, and they're coming out with a new one this year, and I'm damn excited about that. But if I recommend any starting position, it's gotta be with Milo Goes to College.
Think that I'm a loser, 'cause now my bands are too low. Think that I'm a slut, 'cause I got holes in my shoes. Think my cock is like...
It's just a fun listen from front to back. My punk credentials may be limited, but the Descendants cross that imaginary barrier. Brew yourself a nice cup of joe and listen to these guys.
Don't blame me, I was not born. Blame it on the drinks and the bucket of board. 14 shots of business a chaser. Found it up with a mind eraser. Real fucked up the only way I...
And once again, we end a recommends video with a thrash band. But what? A thrash band. The rebirth of thrash as of recent has created many shitty bands, but Municipal Waste aren't one of them. They're just like any good 80s thrash band. They're just get in, get the fuck out, fucking super fast. Man, I know how to sell shit, don't I? But seriously, take a listen to this stuff. With albums like Hazardous Mutation, The Fatal Feast, and my recommended starting point, The Art of Parting, it's just a miracle that I've been listening to these guys since I was way too young to be listening to these guys, and I have yet to rip my face off and throw it at the stage in a metallic frenzy like they said. But should it ever come to that, I could think of no band I would rather do that for than Municipal Waste. Crack open a beer and turn that boring party into art, motherfucker. Well, that tears it for episode 2 of Winfield Recommends. I thank you all for sitting with me on this fucking rocking horse that I just needed a seat for, you know, because... yeah, nothing like a lot of headroom. Well, until next time, I'm Liam Winfield. Keep on rocking.